All right, welcome in. Happy Friday. It's always great to be able to build some Lego and stream and yeah, just have some fun together. So feel free to join in on the chat. Let me know what you're building. Of course, I will be building, man, it's been a long week, the dump truck and front end loader. I'm super excited. As you can tell, I do appreciate all of the latest construction series. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the elephant series or the mammoth series or whatever it is, but they all go together regardless. And I don't know if it's the color or if it's just kind of the beauty of the builds or what, but we cannot get enough of this latest series of construction vehicles. So let's go ahead and jump right in and start building. Gotta open this bad boy first. It's kind of crazy how Lego is doing some of the boxes with the tape seals, some with the little like finger or thumb tabs. It's just seemingly like they can't decide. I kind of feel like in the smaller sets they do those little push tabs, and in the bigger sets they've been doing like the tape seals, but it seems kind of all over the place lately, so not kind of sure what's going on there and if even Lego can make up its mind. Had I looked closer at this box, I would have prepped it so I didn't spend all this time cutting it open. I think my little dude has made off with my James brand knife, so I'm using one of these. Fortunately, little dude does not know how to open that knife. But it's very well that I could have just misplaced it in all my work gear for the moment, so that's a chore for tomorrow. Butchered that. Good gravy. Yeah, I really butchered that box. All right. Whoa. All right. So, instruction booklet. Bag one. Let's pull that aside. Venturing to guess there's 10 bags. Apologize, that was probably rather noisy. I almost changed things up and went and built Garp's battleship because that thing is calling to me. Too true, too true. Yeah, I guess my wife was texting from the other room. Yeah, little dude is not necessarily one to make off with knives. He knows better. So it was probably me misplacing it in all my work gear. Oh, for a second there, I thought there was no stickers. But alas. But heck, only 3. I guess you can't beat that. All right, let's get this scanned in for points. Can't pass up 20, a whopping 20 insiders points. But hey, I guess every little bit helps. 3 times 9, 27. It's easy. Register for myself. No special occasion. Lego store. Gotta love that. Does anyone actually use that builder app to do the instructions? I know, like on the build together with my son, I will do that. But as far as any other set, especially if I'm doing it by myself, gotta love the physical instructions. That's one of the things that I do not like about the BrickLink designer program. Again, if I could just pay $5, $10 more per set, even to get physical instructions, I would totally do that. All right, so I guess we can build the shed first, the manager shed, the dump truck, or the front end loader. What do you guys think? I'm kind of leaning towards the front end loader. I mean, that just looks awesome. Plus, I think all the, well, I guess if I already open up bag 1, I gotta do the little shed. Womp, womp, womp. Okay, now that is what I'm talking about for the latest construction sets. Printed pieces, printed elements. Lego, that's what we want. If you can't tell, people are willing to pay a little bit more to get quality everything. Quality minifigures, quality printed pieces. None of these silly stickers that if you are into Lego long enough, doesn't matter how much you try to protect them, shelter them, keep them away from sun, right humidity and everything, the stickers are going to go bad. I enjoy these new rock elements. Those are really cool. And it looks like they're giving us quite a few. Imagine that. Oh, a little pug. And the double face prints, or expressions, however you want to refer to it. A female foreman. I think that is a first. I'd have to go back through and look at all these sets, but I'm pretty sure that's the first. I mean, there's been females in the sets, obviously, but as far as like manager, foreman, I think that's the first. All right, let's see. I guess I'm not building all of the boulders first, but I can't help myself. I'm going to anyways. I am shocked at how many little boulders and stones we get. I'm going to have to count. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the small ones, and then 2 of the large ones, and then for whatever reason I have an extra of 1/2 of the rocks. So interesting to say the least. All right, let's actually get building. And then if you're interested, tomorrow we'll be doing another stream, and my wife will be on that one. She worked last night, so she is exhausted. So needless to say, she's resting up. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I got the Batmobile, and then she's got just a slew of Disney stuff. I mean, basically, whatever she wanted to build, she can. I'm trying to give her as many options. I think she wants to make sure she's not building something that I really, really want to build. But at this juncture, if I were to do that, then she would have nothing to build. Because there's a reason why I buy each set, so wouldn't mind building each one, but you have to share. Looks like there's a little dog poo at the sign. Kind of interesting. But I will have to keep my eye on the Pick-a-Brick, the online Pick-a-Brick, because when that becomes available, I definitely want more copies of that. The active construction site, printed tile. That's like the printed tiles for the trucks. I'll be honest, I had to pick a few of those up. My wife was like, I can build all the art sets. I guess that's not something she wants to do. I don't know. I think the art sets are fantastic. I opened the world map and then never built it. So something I need to get to. Really should get to it before it's no longer the largest Lego set ever. Guess I should do that as like a live stream. Farewell to the largest Lego set. Because I'm pretty darn sure, unless it was sponsored, gifted to me, or whatever, the Sagrada Familia will not be showing up in this house. Yeah, well, I was saying the art sets hurt her fingers, which I can understand. I guess my fingers are so calloused from building Lego all my life that I'm just kind of used to it at this point. But it is true that some of those ones where it's the tiny pieces over and over and over and over, it's hard to do it in like one fell swoop. But otherwise, I prefer when I start a set to finish it in one sitting. So that is why we have not built one of the reasons why we haven't built the Death Slice. My son also wants to build that, so if I were to build it without him, then there would probably be a lot of tears. On both sides, because there'd be tears on his side that he didn't get to build it, and then probably, honestly, tears on my side when somehow he gets a hold of it and breaks it. So maybe one day in the future, this channel will be monetized, and I've promised him the first money goes towards buying him the Death Slice. So then he can have a copy to do whatever he pleases with it. Man, this is such a good way to end the work week. Woo! Build some Lego. I don't know about you all, but man, the work week has been long. He wouldn't break it just because he didn't get to build it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not like malicious or anything. He would get creative, and once it's built, want to make changes and see ways of improving it, move things around, do a little bit of what we call free building. And, you know, I try to encourage that as much as possible, because I grew up with the mentality of once you built a Lego set, generally, you didn't take it apart. So then you'd almost have to like get another copy to be able to build whatever you wanted out of those pieces, or get like the bucket of bricks, or find a whole bunch of bricks that you could use to then build whatever you want. So I'm trying not to give my son that scar of that. Once a set is built, it must forever remain that way. Try not to be Lord Business. But it is hard, honestly, because I love my sets. I love displaying them. Looks like this set avoided the controversy of which way you hang the toilet paper roll, which is interesting. In our house, I hung it one way, my wife hung it another way, and my wife won. But to be honest, it was not one of those things where I was like, I gotta have it my way. It's like, it's toilet paper. I don't know why, but this little container seemed much bigger on the box. I am going to 86 this little tray. It is making it hard to see the little pieces. I feel like that's the first time in a long time that I've put a chair in a structure and it didn't have one of those swivel pieces. Which I can remember when that piece came out. That is cool. The little printed tile with the dog print on it. So I guess it would be a little dog treat. That's cool. I really appreciate when there's those little printed details throughout the set. another reason why the city sets are awesome. I guess I shouldn't jump ahead and connect it, because then it makes it a little difficult to see where I'm at in the build. Venturing to guess that's why they keep each little chunk apart from the other. Oh, this piece. This piece I think is... in this one, it's in one of the other sets. Maybe it's in the, I think it's in the excavator engine. But I love this little round piece, like the little motor blades on it. Again, another printed element. Kudos Lego. If it was Star Wars Lego, it'd probably end up being a sticker. Curious what the little indents are, or what those are supposed to signify. Yeah, so it's not my imagination. I got an extra one of the tops of the little small boulders. And then if you didn't see my short about these botanical vases, they are awesome. And I think perfect, shameless plug, which I'm not even sponsored for. So it's just, yeah, it's a cool thing. But these are perfect for those little extra pieces. I think these are going to be wildly popular, with as much as the botanicals are exploding. And then I see the ones that actually have the bricks on them to be super popular, because they're great for just that, for putting your little extra pieces. And quite frankly, if you were like mock building, to be able to like scoop up your bricks, put them in this, and bring them to your workstation, cool. Saw some complaints online about those, or about these, but it was a lot of people saying that they expected it to be glass, and I was like, Lego, $10 on their website or $8 at Target, and they're expecting it to be glass? I don't know. I was confused. I knew right from the jump that it was not going to be glass. Does anyone else pull all the trans clear pieces out as soon as possible to prevent additional scraping? Oh, and I'll mention it since I mentioned the trans clear. So when I was building that, I mentioned the little flashlights on there, the 1x1 cone, how it was only in one other set before, which was the movie studio. I swear my phone was listening to me because, no joke, afterwards I had a short come across my feed where it was a guy talking about that. Well, not that it's now in the X-Files, but weird sets, and weird sets that contain like unique pieces, and that was one of them. I was like, wow, my phone's listening to me. Didn't think I was that interesting of a person for my phone to be spying on me. Maybe our partners at the CIA were like, hey, this guy needs validation about those trans clear cones. So, makes me wonder if those will be on the Pick-a-Brick. Should actually check, because if so, those are gonna go pretty quick. I guess this set will give us like the unofficial blueprint for making cargo containers. Which is kind of strange because then we have two sizes. We have the one that's in one of the latest trains, that cargo train, and then this one. And the first sticker. Speaking of stickers, it reminds me that I need to reach out to LEGO and see if I can get a replacement sticker sheet for my upscaled Vader. I rarely make mistakes when it comes to stickers, but that one has the most hideous bubble on that chest piece, which I still do not know why. Well, I guess I do know why, but I'm still upset that LEGO did stickers on upscaled Vader at $100, top of the price point, and then you compare that to like the Harry Potter ones, which are all printed and got a cape, and there's two of them. I'll get off my soapbox on that. But that leaves only 2 more stickers left. Again, another printed tile. And those tiles are the ones I really like. Again, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a mammoth or if that's supposed to be an elephant. I thought it was supposed to be an elephant, but then somebody in the comments said, nope, it's the mammoth. So I don't recall ever seeing LEGO officially say one way or the other. It's so quiet without my wife here. So much easier to have conversation when she's just sitting right here next to me. Although I do have a lot more room. So trade-offs. I keep closing this thing. And the instructions are like, no, leave it open. Kind of thought for some of these solo streams, should I find a way to do royalty-free music in the background? But I guess there is something to be said about just slowing down, having less noise, other than the LEGO itself, and fun conversation. Again, I'm going to keep saying this because I appreciate it. Another printed tile. little IFAK or individual first aid kit. And I guess all the tools. And in the instructions, they even point it in the way so you don't see the little mold hole. Makes me wonder if designers can get that right, and people that do the instructions, why some of the other things kind of go awry, but I guess that's life. I will now forever, when I look at these, think of two things. The containers that you can build, but now that they've got the ones that are kind of wavy or inset, I typically now think of these for the upscaled minifigures, which I love. I know some people don't like them, hate them, think they shouldn't exist, whatever, but I, for one, really enjoy them. After all, that's one of the things that sets LEGO apart from the competition, the minifigure. Let's see what time on the clock that is. That's weird because the hour hand, if you put it the way it's shown, is at like noon, and then the minute hand is at like 53, but then that means that the hour hand should be much, much closer to the 1. I guess I'm just too observant, too literal. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what that is. Gotta just type something in here just to make sure my chat does not freeze on me. For a second, I thought that was like the trans clear door, but I was like, one's much smaller. It must be for the little cabinet. And the second sticker. They really do not want to print this porta potty on anything, but they use it for a few of the things in the construction series. So it'd be nice if they're just going to keep reusing it to go ahead and make a print of it. At least once it's built and maybe, you know, put on a shelf, 2 of the stickers are going to be hidden. So I know it's an odd thing to be excited about, but I'm excited about it. The way it's labeled on here is that this is like a refrigerator. Who puts bananas in a refrigerator? That is bananas. I don't know one part of the world you would put a banana in a refrigerator. That is crazy. And then on top of that, have your refrigerator right next to your bathroom? Interesting choice. Oh no. It's happening. This sticker goes on the inside of this piece. I detest that. Pardon me while I hold my breath. It's like I'm taking a sniper shot here, applying this stupid sticker. About as good as you're going to get. Almost dead center. But I detest putting stickers inside a piece. I think I'm pretty good at putting on stickers. Can you imagine if you're not? That must be miserable. But that means that all of the stickers will hide away as soon as I close this up. So. I mean, I guess it is a cool sticker, but I don't know. Not a fan. Okay, I think whoever put this together has a sense of humor. Because then you've got like steam coming off the pizza, and then you've got like a little squirt emoji coming out of the water bottle. Oh my gosh. Oh, I guess, yeah. I'm not making that up. That is too funny. Can you tell I'm sleep deprived? And then you got the Lego News tile. That I really enjoyed the Lego News. You could use it in so many sets. It looks like an actual newspaper, but the irony is that who reads an actual physical newspaper anymore? At my job, you used to be able to get the Wall Street Journal or the paper, but people do not anymore. Man, I'm not applying enough pressure to the bricks. I'm doing what little dude will do. And like every so often I have to, when he's building something, like tonight he was building a Minecraft set. And I noticed, you know, every few steps I'd have to sit there and kind of squeeze everything together. And I'm guilty of that. I was just doing that. Look and see all these gaps. I'm like, ooh. Okay, where did I miss the yellow cup? Oh, it was supposed to be right next to the newspaper. So you've got, again, the washroom right next to the refrigerator. And you know it's not a cabinet, it's a refrigerator because the little icons in the instruction book. Then you've got like a little break room, I guess, tool shed, individual first aid kit, a broom, the little air conditioner or refrigerator unit, the logo, I was wondering what this was supposed to be, and that's the air vent to the washroom. That is a nice little detail. I'll tell you, the designers of the city sets, they really put their attention into building awesome models. They really, really think about it. All right, so now the dilemma. Front end loader or dump truck. What I really want to do with these is build a mock, like a construction site or like a gold rush mock. I think that'd be so much fun. The sad thing is, realistically, you would need 2 front end loaders at least, and then 2 dump trucks, and then 2 dozers and 2 excavators. That is a lot of money on construction sets. And then you would need money for the base plates, then like all the tiling and greebling and detailing for the actual dig site or construction site. And then if it was like a gold rush one, I'd have to do a wash plant. But a guy can dream. All right, I think I'm gonna do the front end loader. I know it's kind of cheating a little bit to skip the dump truck, but hey, I'm in charge on this build, so I'm gonna do it. Which is this officially marked as a build together? Makes me wonder if Lego's abandoning that concept, because it's not, and this would be like perfect for that, because you have 3 instruction booklets, 3 distinct builds. Feel like an ideal build together. But what do I know? The big bucket piece. All right, so I need bags 8, 9, and 10. Remember when, way back in the day, all the minifigures would come in the first bag? And now it's like interesting. It's like, I know there's a minifigure for this front end loader, but it's not in bag 8. And I know it's not in one of the earlier bags, so it's kind of interesting how Lego does that. I guess it makes it a little bit harder for those thieves that are stealing just minifigs. I think that's partly the reason why they did it. And then because people would then conveniently be missing the bag that had all the minifigures in it to get a, second set. I wouldn't be at all surprised if that is the reason behind it. Guess you don't know it looking at a lot of these sets, but a lot of these sets do have a fair amount of Technic. I guess it's somewhat evident on the excavator and then somewhat on the front of the dozer, but it's interesting, like when you're in the core of each of these builds, there's just so much Technic that I wouldn't necessarily expect to be there, but it makes sense why it's there. I love this color yellow. I think the first set I ever got this in was the Dreams school bus. And I was just enamored with that color at the time. And still am, quite frankly. Some satisfying clicks there. Does anyone else take like the extra half a second to line up these pins so they're going in the same direction when you're building? I find it so much easier, like if you're attaching another piece of Technic to it, if they're all lined up. So the little breaks in each of those pins are all going the same direction. But feel free to call me crazy on that, because it does add up if you try to do that intentionally so on like every single one of these little pins. And I guess the benefit of all these Technic cores is these city construction sets are like solid. And I mean it. Even the little dude has played with some of these. He loves the excavator. Loves it. And it comes out unscathed. And that's saying a lot from when a 4-year-old gets a hold of it. Oh, fiddlesticks. Or as Bluey's dad, Bandit, would say, biscuits. Got to talking and instantly realized I forgot that piece. Guessing this is building either the front or rear axle, would be my guess. No need for a differential when each has its own axle. Man, I feel like I'm flying through this set. But I guess it's easy to feel like that when each page has like 2 pieces. And then this set, the build seems to flow so much easier than the X-Files. But don't get me wrong, X-Files was a fantastic build. Hello, hello! From Qatar. Oh, well, you were from Qatar, not in Qatar. Yes, I do remember you. How are you doing? And are you building Lego or just hanging out, having fun? And just in case it wasn't clear, adding to the collection of city construction sets. With the, I did skip, so I did the, I guess, container office for the dump truck and front end loader set, and I'm jumping to the front end loader and then circle back to the dump truck. Oh, Saudi Arabia. I've always wanted to go there. One of these days. One of these days. If it's not for work, then for vacation. I've heard there's a lot to do out there. A lot of fun sites. And if I remember correctly, there is an indoor ski slope, which I always thought was very intriguing. It's so nice. So what's the latest Lego set that you're building? Or have built, I guess I should say. Built. Man, that is bad English on my part. I apologize. Poor English. That's what you get for not sleeping. Yeah, this has to be the front. It's interesting, like how this hydraulics and these little pistons have like no air, nothing. And they still just magically work. The Disney castle? Okay. Which one? Are we talking the one that's pink and blue, the white and blue, or the Beauty and the Beast one? Kind of sad to say that I've missed out on all 3 of those. Well, I guess the Beauty and the Beast one is still available. But I figure they would be crazy Lego to not build or not release another Disney castle, large Disney castle, especially since they've reverted back to kind of like the grayish white and blue. Okay, the big 4,000 piece one. So yeah, I think that's the like pinkish bluish one. I thought that one was an awesome looking set. And then if you get the Main Street to go along with it, that's a thing of beauty. Which I venture to guess there'll be more to come on the Main Street. I think as people get over the fact that it's not modulars and yada, 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 which I don't think it was ever intended to be because the castle itself wasn't fully enclosed. You'd have to get two, do a rebrickable to make it like a full enclosed castle. So I knew Main Street wasn't going to be modular-esque. But I think once people get over that and realize how great of a set that is, it will sell really well, and LEGO will expand and do the rest of like the shops, the other side of Main Street. Okay, that is so satisfying. That piston or hydraulics? Guess that'd be hydraulics. This is why I like the construction sets so much. I could just sit here playing with it. Last year you bought it. So then do you have the Main Street to go along with it? I like the new One Piece Lego set. Oh man, those new, the second series of the One Piece are just fantastic. I would love to have, and I intend to have, no? Not sure. Like the new One Piece Lego set. No, I'm not sure what you're saying no to, but I intend to get all of the One Piece before they retire. Built the Going Merry, which is on the floor. I know it shouldn't be on the floor with Lego on the floor, but it's temporarily where it is. Hopefully this weekend I'll be able to kind of do a overview of this room and then start to pick it up, because I think a lot of people would want to see the room and how deep this room is. But yeah, the One Piece sets are awesome. The only ones I didn't get from the Series 1 was the Baratier and the Brickheads. I'm not going to get the Brickheads. I don't like Brickheads unless it really speaks to me, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Got those. But I'm not getting a whole bunch of Brickheads, because you built one, you built them all, I feel like. But I do want that Baratier, and then I'd have all of the Series 1 play scale One Piece sets. And then I'm working on the second series. What is your favorite Lego set? So we got the boxes of two of my favorites. So the UCS Lambda class shuttle, Imperial Lambda class shuttle, Ewok Village, and then my other, like the top three are those two plus the Airport Shuttle. Airport Shuttle is like from 1990 or between 1990 and 1992. But I have a feeling LEGO has heard, and they are going to be making another monorail. It probably won't be like the exact same old monorail system. It'll probably be something new, kind of similar to those educational sets. Especially since the fact that when they put the track on the online Pick-a-Brick, it was gone in a matter of days. Like all of the inventory. I think that signaled to Lego how much a demand there is for a monorail. So, yeah, I'd probably have to lean towards the monorail because it is so unique. I mean, we have countless Ewok sets, but that's obviously the best because it's the UCS one. Well, it wasn't actually UCS, but I'd say it's a UCS. And then the Lambda class shuttle, we've had countless of those, but that's obviously the best. But the monorail, we've had 2 space ones and then 1 city one, and then it was just gone. Never to be heard from again. They did have like the extra track that you could buy and whatnot, but it's just a shame that there's so many Lego builders that have never experienced a monorail. If you like trains, man oh day, when you get your hands on a Lego monorail, as a kid, I would sit there and play for hours on end with my monorail. I would make whole cities and build it around, or build the monorail around it, because I had extra track. The Harry Potter castle, yeah, like the full one where it's like over $1,000 when you get all the different pieces, I'm presuming. This does not want to line up well. Whew, that was trickier than I thought it should be. Yeah, that's the thing of beauty. We started getting the Harry Potter castles because my wife is really into Harry Potter, and we got together when it was like the dry period of Lego Harry Potter, where there were no Harry Potter sets. And so then when it finally came back out, I was like, oh, let me buy up all these Harry Potter sets for you. They, came out so quick, so many of them, that she just could not keep up building them. And so then I stopped buying them. But we have like the previous series. So not the one where it's like there's like the 2 stories where like there's like the caves or the little modular system down below, which I definitely think is the better one. But when we have the previous series of the Harry Potter castle and not all of them are built, some of them are still new in box, I'm like, well, I can't go out and justify getting a whole nother castle when we have a castle that's not even fully built yet. But yeah, that's hands down the better version, the current one right now. It kind of reminds me of like the UCS Death Star, or Death Slice, as some people refer to it, because it's like the centerpiece, the biggest thing, the ultimate play set for that Lego collection. You have to go soon so you can eat? Yeah, don't let me hold you up. Do what you got to do. It's great, even if you can stop in and say hi. Always appreciate it. We'll be streaming tomorrow, the 2 of us, so feel free to stop back on by. And have fun with your Lego, your Disney castle. What time is it? It is 56 minutes until midnight, so 11:04. I wouldn't be at all surprised if there's somewhat of a delay getting all the way over to Saudi Arabia. Because it's like, what, middle of the day? Oh, no, that's right, in the morning. 7:04. Okay. So, a breakfast person. I like breakfast too. It's just my gut or my weight doesn't always like breakfast. But breakfast has some of the best foods. You got crepes, pancakes, waffles, eggs, omelets. So yes, don't let me hold you up. Enjoy. I can only sit here and dream of what delicious food you'll be partaking. And now, so I guess it's kind of interesting. You build the front end. Now I think I'm building the back end of the front end loader. And then I guess they'll eventually join, and then I'll build the top and then, or the cab, and then the wheels. Yeah. Again, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And enjoy your morning. As I tell my son, today is a great day to have a great day. Oh, the new Jaguar? Yeah, that looks like a fun build. I'm curious, how is the coloring of the pieces? Because those elements are notorious for having color consistencies, so that the pigment of the elements between the different element types are not the same. So I'm concerned about that, but yeah, they unfortunately they don't have it on display at my Lego store, because my Lego store has so few displays. But I'm waiting for that to be on display so I can see it in person, to see if they're having issues in the Mexico factory with the color consistency. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to on the US factory, is hopefully it has better internal controls. Because as yours does have a good color match through all the pieces, or it has issues with the color consistency. Because one of the reviews I was watching on that, it was rather apparent that there were color consistency issues with the elements. And it's still kind of like a sore thumb. And I was like, man, that's so sad because it's such a beautiful set. And I was like, I don't know how they can have that many issues with that particular color not matching between different elements. Because like red, fine, dark bluish gray, light bluish gray, spot on. Unless you have stickers, then best of luck. So you like all the different cars? My favorite is probably the Shelby Cobra. Such a beautiful car. Okay, yeah. Feel free to stop back on by. Go enjoy. Yeah, I'll probably be on live for quite some time because I definitely want to finish this set tonight because I want a clean slate for tomorrow's live stream. Bye. It was good seeing you. Or good having you stop by, I should say. All right, I'm trying to figure out how this connects. I guess it's right there. I did not think it had such a large back end beyond the axle. And I do not know how to get these axles to be tighter. Guess that's a problem it'll just have. Which I guess it shouldn't be too noticeable with the big tires. I am pleased at how much, in terms of different elements and different element colors they have in here, or piece colors. I appreciate it because otherwise you'd have basically 4 colors of the dark bluish gray, the light bluish gray, that, I don't know what they call it, the like flame yellow, bright yellow, and then the black. But it's nice that they put all the little red pieces in and little blue. I'm curious where the medium azure is going to go. It's so satisfying building the little ladders. I thought one of these other sets had the little ladder. Can't remember now what set I was building that had this same construction of a ladder. These little pieces can hide because if they're turned just the right way, they look like a 1x2 brick. It is coming together. Two pieces, one page. One piece. Lego is spoiling us nowadays with how few pieces are on each page. No wonder why Lego wants to stop making the printed instructions. How does that go? All right, yeah. It's coming along. I'm trying to figure out what's going to go in this huge cavity. I always find it oddly satisfying when you have two of these pieces together and you put them together at a 45-degree angle or 90-degree angle. How clean it is when they come together. Ah, maybe it's just me, but it looks so clean the way it's like seamless on the top, sides, all angles. So I guess that answers that question. They're just going to cover up this huge cavity. I guess it just wasn't needed, but they needed the width. So didn't really need anything for structural integrity. It's just they needed it to be that wide. So then you've got like this little light that can go all the way through. There's a crazy amount of steps. Not even like, I'm like halfway through. Guess maybe that's about right. Well, I was wondering what those little medium azure blue pieces, where they went, what they did, and it looks like they're just going to get hidden. Makes me wonder, when a designer does that, it's like, were they just trying to get more of those elements out into the world? Did they want some of those elements, and they're like, let me find a way to put these in a set? Makes me wonder, like the Lego designers, I know they have the library where they can, if they work out of Bill in Denmark, they can check out sets to build. It makes me wonder if any of those like have the time or passion for mock building, or if like all their building is like on their free time of just thinking up and daydreaming new sets. I always thought if I worked for Lego, it would be hard to have it feel like it was a job. It just seems like that's like the coolest thing, to be able to design Lego sets and then somebody pay you for it. It's like, don't threaten me with a good time. I always felt like if I was wealthy enough, I would just pull like a Jay Leno move, and I would just show up at Lego and be like, here I am, reporting for work. They'd be like, well, we don't have you on the payroll. I'd be like, I don't need to be on the payroll. I'm ready to work. It is coming together. I love it. It's so satisfying. Oh, and then the little rubber piece goes right here. So there is a little bit of tension, but it can still freely move. But then it just doesn't just wag all over the place. Oh, and then you have the round piece and then a 2x6 to secure the rubber piece in place so it doesn't pop out. I like it. And then here, in the last bag of this component, you actually get the minifigure. It was not always this way. All you have to do is go so far back as the infamous Cloud City set, and back then all the minifigures were in one bag together. Got our little construction worker there. I like it. Cannot have enough of these guys. All right, I've honestly lost count on how many printed pieces or printed elements there are. And that is a fantastic issue to have. Man, oh day, now I'm craving like an omelet or breakfast burrito. Woo! That's interesting. The way this piece jets out, it does kind of rub if you rotate the front and back end of the back loader or the front end loader too far, it starts to rub here. But I guess then that limits kind of the range of motion. Which would be more accurate for a front end loader. Because I've never seen a front end loader jackknife. I got ahead of myself. I do not know how I missed this step. There's butcher knives. Color me curious as to where the butcher knives are going to go. I am intrigued. All right, so this is going to be duplicated, trans clear, cheese wedge. I feel like these should be higher up. What is going on here? Okay. That makes much more sense. Okay, I was off one stud here. So there is clearance there. That was driving me nuts. So then it doesn't rub. Okay. Much better. And you even have the printed element for the controls. Albeit that's not a new print, but that's still cool that they included it and actually have a print for that. It's a nice touch. I think that's actually was a new print for, I want to say, Star Wars. The little keypad. At least that was the first time I saw it. I have to say, I kind of feel spoiled right now. Just, you know, doing the X-Files and now doing some construction sets. It truly is a great day to have a great day. The only thing that would make it better is if there was like a sand crawler or the new AT-AT AT-AT, however you want to pronounce it. Whether or not initialisms or acronyms suit your fancy. It's going to sound bad, but I wonder how many Lego fans would know the difference between, or Lego Star Wars fans would know the difference between an initialism and an acronym. They'd probably just say, we don't care. But I do like watching, as a Star Wars Lego fan, I do love watching the debates between people saying that it should be AT-AT and then other people that say it should be AT-AT, because I call them both. But there are some die-hard fans that swear it's only one way. All right, I think it's safe to put the driver or operator inside the front end loader. There we go. Is this one supposed to be operating off of compressed natural gas? Wondering if that's what the blue is supposed to represent in these tanks. I will have to look that up. But you can see like the little tanks. It's got the blue here, down there. I think that's supposed to be the color for CNG. No. Guessing it's supposed to be for batteries. I'll be darned. And yet another printed element. It looks like a literal battery. That is so cool. It like opens up and then you can see the battery in there and then you can close it back up. It's the simple things, I tell you. Oh. And since these curved elements are hollow right there, it fits around the little fence pieces. Similar kind of what you see on the dozer. All right, the build experience for that. It's simple, but so effective and so enjoyable. And then with the blue, you can see it through the fence piece. It's supposed to be like a little grate. It's just a hint. That is awesome. I feel like they've improved from the dozer, the top of the cab. Just trying to line up the text as much as possible so it's not completely off-putting by how misaligned they can get on the little clear pieces. Okay. Okay, that made me smile. That is some NPU there. Nice part usage. The butcher knives are the mirrors. It's kind of a shame. Oh, and that's why you get an extra of that little piece, because that one just shot off and I'll have to find it later. But it's a shame that the injection mold spot is right there on the side. But otherwise, the butcher knife as the mirror, that's ingenious. Guess these go back one. Okay. Got a little scuffs on some of the window elements, but otherwise, that is looking amazing. Yes, I'm a fan. All right, so the mag part out. Now let's see if these are all the same type of tires. It's always funny to hear that Lego is the largest tire manufacturer in the world. Granted, small tires, but it always strikes me as such a fun little fact. Those tires can be a little tricky to put on. To make sure they're aligned right, but ooh, that tire's not good. Okay. Let's turn these into proper mag wheels. Not gonna lie, something feels off about the scale. In my mind, a front end loader is bigger than a dozer. But I guess there's different sizes of front end loaders, but in the grand scheme of things, looking at all the other ones, it is kind of in scale. If anything, maybe the dozer is a little large. Yeah, overall, I think that accurately captures a front end loader, and it's functional. The back opens up so to expose the that it's an electric front end loader. Fancy. And what's really intriguing is it's got a connection point back here to like seemingly tow something. I do not recall that on any of the others. But yeah, that I'm a fan. Yeah, that is a thing of beauty. So now for the dump truck, and I guess this is the bigger one. So hopefully this will go by quick. It's interesting, there's 5 and 5 as far as the tires. I was wondering if I got an extra tire. Welcome back. How was breakfast? Did finish the front end loader. I was just going over how awesome the front end loader is. It's amazing. The scale might be a little off as far as the dozer. It's a smaller, I guess, front end loader, but all in all, I am thoroughly impressed with this set so far. Minus the 3 stickers, but the 3 stickers are hidden, so I can get over that. Because that is one of the draws of the latest city sets, is no stickers. I can kind of see why they do it on, unfortunately, on licensed sets to save some money, but when it's their own intellectual property, I think you've got the budget, or LEGO's got the budget to do printed elements. Guessing this is the bed. This must be the bed of the dump truck. Now I'm so craving like an omelet or crepe of all things. But with as late as it is, no. All I'm drinking is my ice cold water. Food will wait until tomorrow. This is an interesting build. I really thought I was tackling the bed of the dump truck, but I have never seen this Technic piece before. And then it's like going in like this gearbox. That is intriguing. It's always funny when you start a set like this and you're building a component and you're like, at least I'm guessing what part of it is, what part of the internal structure is this, and then just to slowly see it all come together. It's so satisfying. Makes me wonder what they're going to do next for the construction sets. 'Cause I feel like they've pretty much done everything they can. Over there I've got the small dump truck and the crane. I need to do the crane. But I figured since this is brand new, this is more enticing. This will probably get more views, honestly. Even though I prefer to be doing probably that crane. Because that crane is so huge. I think it'd be a good display piece. So, more batteries. Really thought that was compressed natural gas. I don't know why, but I convinced myself it was. But nope, it is a battery. You've got another printed battery tile. This color makes me want to build the Maersk shipping container ship. Or shipping. You know what I mean. Kept going back and forth when it was available for 4 times points and didn't do it. And now I'm like, is that going to be the only sale ever on that? Hopefully not. Because I need that set to sell well. So that maybe, just maybe, LEGO will build the Maersk train again. As you can tell, I like moving LEGO. I like the trains. I like the monorails. Latest Batmobile. Price point on it is not awesome, not great, but that remote controlled Batmobile, does it get any better than that? I guess the only way to get better is for it to be cheaper. But I also have like one of the older RC, remote controlled RC cars. And it's just so much fun to play with. So I'm excited that they brought back another motorized car at a somewhat affordable price. I should say, in terms of LEGO, it's affordable. In terms of all toys, no, but so yeah, that is definitely on the list. But there are so many good sets that have come out recently. It is hard to catch them all. If you catch my drift. Catch my drift. Yes. Just realized how many idioms I'm saying, or how many sayings I'm saying. So my friend out in Saudi Arabia, he must be learning a lot of English sayings. You forget how many idioms and sayings you use until you're like thinking about it, like, somebody didn't speak English as their first language. They might be scratching their head like, why did you say it like that? Because I've even noticed that when I watch foreign streamers, overseas streamers, and content creators, even in the Lego space, some of them are like, wait, what did they just say? How does that translate? Even if it's in English. Especially the British channels I watch. Some of the stuff they say, I'll be honest, I go look it up like, okay, what does that mean in the States? There's a particular streamer that I watch, or YouTube content creator, and they use the phrase Wang Jangler, and I still cannot figure out what that means other than brick separator. So I can only guess that is like a local term or just slang of some sort. But I've now come to realize that that means brick separator. Wait, where's the other one go? Had one of these red pins escape over the workbench, so I had to get one out of the trusty extra pieces. Again, these are fantastic. I don't know why people are beating up Lego over these online. I, for one, think they're great. And I'm surprised it took them that long, even though it's not official Lego, it's licensed Lego, but it's sold on the Lego website. So, explain that to me. But why it took Lego so long to put something out like that, an actual base for all the botanicals they produce. I don't know if I've ever seen this piece, like this little hinge piece, as greebling before. Because I think they're using that as a ladder. I think that's a first for me. I mean, it works. I'm presuming that's what it is. If that's the case, then that's some nice part usage. I can only guess this is going to be, I don't know. I guess I'll have to see in a few steps what component of the truck this is. It's got to be, I guess, the front, because that would make the most sense where the battery is. That is exquisite. The angles there, and to match it up, there's virtually no gap there. And then that all but confirms that that is supposed to be a ladder. I'm surprised of all these inverted tiles that LEGO has not done one where there's studs on both sides. For whatever reason, they seem extremely reluctant to do that. But once they do, once they break that barrier and then have a tile where there's studs on both sides, can you imagine the possibilities? I know other brands do it. They already have that tile. Or piece. Yeah, those are little ladders. That is satisfying. It's looking good. Oh, I jumped ahead and put it on when I was supposed to put a few more pieces on. Whoops. Okay, that's better. Sometimes I can skip ahead. I guess that comes from building when I was younger and there was a lot less pages. Because you quite frankly had to do more steps per page. Starting to feel a little hefty over here. It is slowly but surely coming along. And I think now that we have a steering wheel, it might be a little early, but hey, why not? Give that dude some doors. Building him a proper cab. Oh no. Little stud fell into the engine. It's like, whoops. Ooh, that is a tight fit there. Satisfying click though. Now I'm going to build the hood or bonnet. Cover the nice little battery compartment. I guess those could be batteries or those could be motors. Both of the classic windshields. The blocky one and then the little slanted one. But they fit the bill. That was a tight fit in there. Poor little guy has like no room. Oh, that's interesting. Guess that is fitting. Now a little protection from the actual back of the dump truck. Got like a little cage element there. So, there we go. Now, next bag, 5. I'm just ashamed when I first started building this, I was like, maybe that little base was the bed of the dump truck. And I was like, man, looking back, that would have been a very small bed. Because that is a better size. That is intriguing. Guess it has to be super sturdy to pivot open. The dreaded brown, but this is more malleable than the brittle brown, so that's good. Man, these red pins are jumping all over the place tonight. I don't know what it is, but it's just the little red pins. Apologize if you can hear the neighbors driving by. Somebody is driving a rather loud truck at just after midnight. That makes sense. Not sure why I can hear it at my house. It has to be rather loud outside. Oh, building the axles. A lot of good clicking. Made me think of that one YouTuber that says, keep clicking and bricking. Which, man, oh day, the amount of leaks that have come out recently, all the way into 2028. It's wild. Makes me wonder if somebody got fired out after that leaked document going out that far. It's crazy. But I guess what was noteworthy about those leaks is that they were all like 18 plus sets. And we still don't know what all the holiday sets that we're getting. Like, we know we're getting upscaled Mrs. Claus, but we don't know what we're getting for the holiday Star Wars set. We know the Advent calendar, but LEGO would be insane not to release another holiday set with as well as the AT-AT or AT-AT. Holiday AT-AT or Holiday AT-AT did, or the gingerbread AT-AT, because that thing was constantly sold out. So you know they have to be doing another holiday set. And I did not see that on the list. I still suspect they are going to re-release or do a different holiday X-Wing. And if they do, that is going to fly off the shelf. Especially if they ended up doing like a re-release of the employee gift and say like a black and white box, which they have done before. Not of employee gifts, but re-releases where they do the black and white box. If they do, I could see literally every Star Wars Lego collector picking up at least one, if not multiple. If nothing else, just to get that Yuletide pilot. So, glad I got that on video. In case I'm right, you can say, you heard it here first. But that is my guess for what the holiday set is for Star Wars. All right. How does this fit in here? That does not make sense. Okay. I was looking at it backwards. I've got like a, I guess, a suspension here. Another interesting thing about the leaks is the return of Star Wars Smart Play. Wonder if they're going to fix one element of the trifecta that I identified with the Star Wars Smart Play sets. That being the price, sound quality, i.e. not licensed sounds, and then the design. It's like you cannot have compromised designs, exceptionally premium pricing, and then synthesized sounds. You can't have all three. And it seems like for... How does that work? That does not connect. Okay, I guess it's not meant to connect. They improved on it for the Pokemon, so here's to hoping that they learned from the first round that, hey, you can't charge absurd prices, have non-licensed sounds, and compromised designs. So I'll be interested to see what they fix or how they address it. But I'm probably one of the few fans that actually enjoyed the Smart Play sets. Dare I say it. Didn't enjoy the price, but enjoyed the sets. Oh, wow. Okay, so that is so that it can all kind of pivot. So if you had a rocky terrain, it would allow it to kind of pivot like it does these large dump trucks do in real life. That's cool. Don't know how I didn't notice these hoses before. And they get buried in that Technic piece. And that kind of stabilizes the movement so it doesn't as easily move. I am impressed. For such a large set, I'd have to say this is coming together much faster than I anticipated. I really feel like this is a new element. That's got the little Technic holes on the front and back. Oh, there is the red and white. I was like, why the red stripe? I guess that's about right. Oh, it's going to connect into these lights. I see what they're doing. Always got to double check when you get to something that's symmetrical. Am I going to be doing this step twice or 3 times like an X-File set? Not sure what those Technic pins are going to be used for, but I did confirm they are supposed to be there. The red and white striping. It's like a candy cane. Or a warning strip, which is what it is, but wow, you could almost do a flatbed. Almost do a flatbed. Not entirely sure why you'd want to do a flatbed, but I guess that is a construction piece of equipment that they have yet to do. So they could basically steal from this model and do a flatbed. Although, I think it'd have to be a lot bigger to carry like an excavator or the front end loader. There's something so satisfying about these construction sets. I have to find a way to do a mock. I just have to figure out if it's going to be a construction site or like a gold mine. Still like the idea of a gold mine. It's just, it'd be big. I have to figure out how to design a wash plant. And then I would truly love double of this set, double of the excavator, and double of the dozer. You don't need a cement truck or that tiny little front loader. But I would definitely get enough of these little boulders or stones if I did one of those mocks. And we have a Lego convention coming up real quick, right around the corner. Early October. Which I was not planning on displaying anything. I was planning on just going, having fun, enjoying the convention, doing a video highlighting what everyone else made, but still think at some point in time it'd be fun to do a table. But as of now, I'd probably have to just showcase old sets because I don't have really much mocks to really fill up like a table. And we do have one person in our area that at least does showcase trains and then all the old space sets. So it is a thing, but I don't find it to be the most exciting tables, just showcasing old sets, because I've lived it, I've been there. But for newer LEGO fans, I guess it is exciting to see some of the old sets. Like the Blacktron sets. Ice Planet. Surprised though, one of the things I haven't seen is somebody display like all the old castle sets. At least at a convention. Venturing to guess, when I turn this page, it's going to be the other side. I knew it. I should have been just simultaneously building the mirror when I was building that. I will know when I build the second half to just build the mirror image. Which I don't know if I'm one of the few people that's crazy enough to, if I really like a set, and it makes sense, like a modular build the mirror image of it. Well, that was a good click. I thought there was going to be another piece on top to make it a little bit taller. That's a very, very shallow bed. Wait, I'm doing that backwards. Yeah, that just feels very, very shallow. I mean, granted, I guess it does hold those. Huh. All right, time to attach. I guess they do give you enough to basically fill the bed of the dump truck. Ooh, okay. Let's just sit that right over there. Very light rubber smell. I don't know if I've seen these recently in the 2x2 tiles. I'm glad they didn't do 4 of the 1x1 tiles. That would have looked ridiculous. I mean, it looked bad enough when they did the 3 1x1s on the dozer. What is... Oh. Okay. I'm tracking. It's like, what am I building now? It looks like a one long axle, but it's actually the gate to lift at the end. Okay. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right. Somehow I got this misaligned. Okay, that one's fixed. Let's get these all fixed so they're all the right orientation. That's better. What point do they pivot on? Say on the middle one. Okay. That works. That's what's connecting it. Okay. A chain. Oh, I like that. So then it prevents it from crashing all the way down. Oh, it took me a second to figure that out. So as you lift it up, the chain keeps it from falling down with it. So you don't like have to manually lift it up. Just as you tip, it keeps this up. I love that functionality. It would take me forever to figure that out. I'm guessing there's something similar to that on the actual large dump trucks like this. Oh, It's like being a kid all over again. Hopefully that comes through on the camera, but I can't get enough of that. The way that works to keep the lift gate or the gate up while it's dumping material. Oh, now a whole series of pages of explaining how to do it on the opposite side, which I already did. Well, no butcher knives on this one. just the front end loader. All right, time to do some tires. And quite a few, to say the least. My wife thinks that the art sets hurt your fingers. I think these tires do. Heck, if you've got issues with your hands, man, you need help with these tires. To get them just right. Okay. So I need 6 of these hubcaps or mags to make the mag wheels. All right. It is done. So overall, fantastic build. I can't get over the functionality of the lifting of the dump truck bed and how the gate stays open. Yeah, I can't get enough of that. And then the way the ladders were designed with those hinge pieces. And then you've got the motors, electric, and the way that rotates. And then you've got like the independent suspension there. That's awesome. And then this is so beautiful. I love how the bucket works. And then how this opens up, and then you can see the motors or the batteries back there. And just the contour of this back of the front end loader. How the fence pieces go up into the openings of these slopes. It just looks so seamless. It does intrigue me with the little hitch at the back. But I guess in real life they would have a hitch, but it's just makes you wonder if there's going to be something new that would attach to it. Let me see if it can reach up over. Yep, somebody thought about that to make that happen. This is probably my least favorite part of the build, but it is kind of necessary because we have a lot of these construction sets and we don't have an office for everyone. But it's just, it's comical that they got the refrigerator next to the toilet. I can't get over that. And that they put a banana in the refrigerator. So, but yeah, this is the only part that has stickers, and they're in here. So overall, no real complaints, I guess, other than the stickers. But and then the fact that you put a refrigerator right next to the toilet, it makes me laugh every single time. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this set. I will have to get around to doing more reviews, so I can do reviews like on this and all the other construction sets. Because yeah, it's a growing collection, and now I have the last two to build that are of this series. The crane, and then the service truck with the small dump truck. But yeah. So thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream because we've got another stream tomorrow. And my wife is going to be on, and I want to be somewhat rested. So that way I can have some good conversation during that stream. Plus I'm building the Batmobile. Maybe mix it up because I may or may not have something else super exciting to build. So we shall see. And we'll see how long the stream goes, because I'm venturing to guess as quick as I built this, that Batmobile is going to take me no time at all to build. So, but it's nevertheless a set I've been looking forward to. But I've got others in the backlog, like that sushi restaurant and yeah, some other cool, exciting sets that I won't name. So keep you guys in suspense. But again, thanks for watching. Friend out in Saudi Arabia, again, thanks for watching. And even though you had to pop away and come back in, super awesome. Glad to have you here and glad to have that conversation. So see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.